It's safe to say that the first season of the 12-team playoff format for the college football playoffs has worked to perfection, and it's been a success. And I'm going to make a video going into a deeper dive on that. But in this video, I'm doing my college football championship preview. College championship this upcoming Monday with Notre Dame and Ohio State, two teams that went all the way from the first round, didn't have a first round bye, grinded their way to get here. Notre Dame 14-1 on the season. They wins. They had a 27-17 win against Indiana, and that game wasn't as close as it may seem. It was 27-3 for a lot of that game. Indiana really didn't stand a chance. They started scoring some points in the fourth quarter, but there was no chance they were winning that game. So that was an easy win for Notre Dame. Their second game against Georgia, who was coming off a first round bye, that was an easy game for them as well. I mean, Notre Dame beat Georgia 23-10. Like, they just looked completely out of it in that game. I don't know what was going on with Georgia in that one. Then their last game, they beat Penn State 27-24, and that was actually a really good game. Ended up coming down to a game-winning field goal that they ended up making and winning to advance to the national championship. So, like I said, in the game against Indiana and Georgia, Notre Dame didn't allow a single rusher to have over 40 yards. They both had multiple guys with over 30, but nobody even hit 40 yards. A single player didn't hit 40 yards rushing in the Notre Dame versus Indiana game for Indiana, or the Georgia versus Notre Dame game for Georgia. And then Riley Leonard, he's been inconsistent. Like, he's had his moments where he's been great, then he had his moments where he's just looked bad. But Notre Dame has a really good defense, and that's what's helped them throughout these playoffs when Riley Leonard is struggling. Like, the game against Georgia, Riley Leonard was actually really good. And then the game against Penn State, it came down to the defense. And then the game against Indiana, it was like flashes of, it was just inconsistent that entire game. So I think that is going to hurt them in the end. Then you look at Ohio State's path here, and they're 13-2 on the season. Their first blowout win, 42-17 against Tennessee. And I was thinking this is going to be a close game. But nope, it wasn't that at all. So shout out to Ohio State. Second win, 41-21 against Oregon. And that first half, it was looking like another TCU situation when they got blown out in a championship game a few years back. Then Oregon started scoring in the second half, but it didn't mean nothing because Ohio State had already took advantage of it, and they were just elite throughout the entire game. Then 28-14 win against Texas, and what I thought would be a closer game than it was, but they ended up getting a blowout there too. So it's like Ohio State, they done won by 14 or more in all three of their games. And then on the other end, even though Notre Dame has only won two games by double digits, one by 10 points, the other by 13. Those games weren't as close as it may seem. Like, those games were really some blowouts. So, Ohio State, they do have all double-digit wins. Notre Dame did have one game come down to the wire. And then speaking of Ohio State again, because, man, that trio of Will Howard, Trayvon Henderson, and Jeremiah Smith, that's one of the most elite quarterback, running back, wide receiver duos I've ever seen in college. You got Will Howard, who's playing out of his mind this season, just keeps getting better each and every game. Trayvon Henderson, he can't be stopped on the run. Like, it's not, like, no pass rusher is really getting to him. Then Jeremiah Smith, he's only 18, I think. He's the same age as me, and he's already the best receiver in college football, and he can't even get drafted yet. So it's going to be hard stopping them. Then you got to think, they have an elite offense with a great defense, too. They have 4 sacks in the Tennessee game. They had 8 sacks against Oregon. Dylan Gabriel looked terrible in that game. Then they had 4 sacks and an interception against Texas. But with all that being said, I think Ohio State wins 35-24 in the national championship, because I don't see a way where Notre Dame can stop the offensive talent that they have. Because they still, like Penn State, their main weapon you had to worry about was Tyler Warren, and it was still a close game, and it came down to a game-winning field goal. But Ohio State don't play around. I don't think they're going to get off to no type of slow start. I think they're going to start hot. And I think it's going to stay that way. I think it might be close in the beginning, but I think Ohio State pulls away near the end. And I see Ohio State winning this 35-24. It won't be the most entertaining championship as it did being an 11-point game, but it could have its cool moments and stuff. and I'll definitely drop a recap after the game is over. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment who you got winning the national championship for college football. Peace.